All right, this is lesson 8.5, analyzing data. We're going to need to use your calculator on this assignment today, so, okay. Now I want you to understand this. When we look at data, analyzing data, our first choice, when we want to summarize our data, is always going to be our mean, okay, with some exceptions, okay. So the first choice with no exceptions is always going to be the mean. It's going to be the most accurate number that tells you where the middle is. But the mean can be skewed, remember, by outliers. So if there are outliers in your data, then you should use the median to summarize your data, okay. So those are the two things. So with no outliers, clean, nice, pretty data, the mean is what you're going to most generally use. But if you see an outlier, then you should go to your median. We're going to practice that today. When you see words like most or most often used, then that's the mode requested. Okay, so they want the one that's going on mode. Now these other two, when you talk about mean, remember mean is described average, and here's one that doesn't make any sense. Range is your variability. Now what that means is that variability is what you can choose from low to high, and so your ranges, you have more choices if your range is bigger. That's what it means. So your variability increases the more range you have. If your range is very small, you have a very limited range of variability. Okay, so we're going to talk about those as we go here. So our first job here then is to find out which one of these in this first box that we're going to use mean, median, mode for the data. So we're going to look at our data. This data is in order. It's got 9 participants. Data is in order, and the data shows absolutely no outliers in there. So without an outlier, we know that our main focus is always going to be the mean. So we're going to choose mean on that one. Okay. Now, I look at my second set of data, and we find out that she has an outlier. This is an outlier. This outlier right here is way bigger than the rest of her data. So because of the outlier in her data, we're going to say we're going to go to median for the best choice on that one. Okay? And then Sadie and Jax want to determine which letters appear most often. When you see the word most often or something like that, that's a mode question. Okay? All right, so that's what we do. Now these next ones, this is where you're going to drive yourself crazy. And the best way to solve these is to get a piece of scratch paper. We'll do this right here. We'll write these down. We're going to write down the median, the mean. We're going to write down twice. We're going to write down the median twice. We're going to compare them. We're going to grab our calculator and do this, okay? So we'll do this. We're going to go grab our data here. We're going to put these 9 numbers in our data, so we're going to turn this on, go back to stat. And again, we're going to edit, we're going to clear our list, we're going to go up, clear, enter, clear our data, we're going to put these in. So we're going to put 850 in, and 915, and 950, 980, 1030, 1040, 1075, 1125, and 1215. I'm going to show you these the calculator way, and I'll show you the other way. And there's 2 different ways to do these, okay? But this is more accurate, and it's if you're not sure to understand how the math works, this is easier, okay? So I've got my 9 numbers in there, so go back to stat, go back to calc, run my calculations, and pull these 2 numbers off. And you're going to write these down. There's no place to write them down, so we're going to write these down. My first one is, my mean is 1020, and my median is 1030. Now, we write those down because we're going to go make a change here. We're going to take the 1215 out of my data and put it in the 1350. So go back to your data, go back to your edit list, okay? Go find your 1215, we're going to take it out. Go find your 1215, which is right down here at the bottom, and get on top of that and put in 1350. And that will change that data. Now you change that number, you change your median and your median and your mode possibly. So we'll see. Okay, so go back to your data, your stat, go over to calculate, recalculate this, and your mean is now 1035. That's why I want to write these down so you can see these. And your median is 1030. Now, let's see what happened here, okay? So my mean, it changed, it increased by, if I subtract those, I get 15. Okay, my median did not change, so it stayed the same. Now, why? Well, here's the deal, okay? Let's look at our data now. What we did on our data, let's get this calculator out of the way, let's look at our data. What happened on our data is they took out, my median was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there. There's my middle number. That's my median. Okay? So they took out a 1215, which was on the top side of the data, top half of the data. They took this out, and they put in a 1350, which would be more on the top side of the data. So they didn't change the middle point. The middle point did not change. The middle point stayed the same. So the data, so the numbers then, we take this number here. Okay, so to find our mean the short way, we take this data, which they changed. So get this out here. Go 1350, the number they put in, the big, take these numbers, subtract them, so do the high minus low. So 1350 minus 1215. They changed the value of the thing by 135 numbers, but they got to remember, we've got to divide by 9. So divide that by 9, and that will tell us that they changed the mean by 15. So you can do it that way, okay? So the mean changed by 15, the mean didn't change. That's because they didn't change the value, they didn't change the value. There were still 4 numbers below the mean, 4 numbers above the mean. They just changed one of the numbers above the mean. If they do that on the same side, your median is not going to change. Your median will always change. Your mean will always change. But this only changes when they change one from the top, take it over the top and put it on the bottom, and your mean will shift down one number, okay? All right, let me show you what I mean. Next question. Here we go. Okay, we're going to take and change. We've got 10 schools, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My median is right here. So we're going to find our median right here. There's 2 in the middle, so we're going to go 276. So 276 plus 292. Add those together and divide by 2. And I get a 284 median. Okay, so 284 is my median. All right, that's my median, 284, between those two numbers. All right, well, here's the problem, okay? We know the mean is going to change. We just got to figure that out in a minute. Let's go. But the mean is going to change here. We took out the 166, so we took this number out. I put a number, 286, right in between those two numbers right there. So that's where 286 goes. So now my median is between 286 and 292, because this has gone down one. Okay, so we got to add these two together, 286 and 292. 286 plus 292. I've got a 578, divide that by 2, and my median has changed from 284 to now 289. So it went up 5. So my median increased by 5. Okay, so when they make a change, either at the middle number or from low side to high side, your median is going to change. If they make a change on low side to low side, or high side to high side, they did on the previous one, they went high side to high side here. You made a high side change to a high side change, your median is not going to change. They do a low side to a low side, not going to change. But if they change anything either side of the median, like you did on this one here, they changed the median number from 276, they slid it down and put that in its place, so that made those the median numbers. And that means that median goes up to 289, so it changed by 5. Okay? Now, sorry, I didn't show you that. Okay, so when they changed the number right next to the median, they took this number and put us in right between there. So we've got a new number in there, okay? And so that means my median is going to change from these two numbers, which is 284, between these two numbers now, which is 289, so it went up by 5. Now, my mean has changed a big change, okay? Because it's going to go from 286, my high number, minus my low number, so minus 166. It jumped to 120, but remember there's 10 schools, so we divide that by 10, so it jumped 12. It went up 12, so the mean increased by 12. So the mean will always change, okay? Median only changes if there's a change from low side to high side, or high to low, or they change one of my two numbers in my middle number, median, okay? All right, anyway, that's hard. So the easy way to do that would be to do this, okay? All right. If you're on your data, go to your stat, okay? You want to clear this list, so go up, clear, enter, put these numbers in, you'll see what I'm talking about. The first number was 166, 244, 264. Like I said, this is the easy one to figure out because there's not really much to do here. 268, 268, 276. You can just got to run these numbers twice. 292, not twice, on all of them. 318, 330. I'll put my numbers in there, okay? Get a spot where it doesn't go. 330, 339, and 373. Okay, there's my numbers. Got my 10 numbers in there. Do my stat calculation, and my mean. Remember, my X bar is 287, and my median is 284. Now go change the number, so go back to my list, edit my list, find my 166, take it out, put in 286, so put 286 right there. I don't care if it's in order or not, calculator doesn't care. Okay, go back to stat, go recalculate these, and your average is now 299, so it went up, and your median went up to 289. So this is a change of 5. This is a change of 12. That's where I get my numbers from. Okay, so my median increased by 12. My mean increased by 12. That was my mean, and my median increased by 5. Okay, on the other one, again, my median and my mean always changes, so it increased by 15. Okay, and my median did not change because it was a high to high change, so it didn't change. All right, last one. Here we go. Okay, so we're gonna look at these things. We're just gonna make questions. So it says, Class 1 has a mean score of an average of 997, a range of 122. So we got the means and the average of all these three classes. So based on the information code, which class has the most of variability? Remember, variability is a range question. So we look at the range. Then they want the most. So we want the biggest range. The biggest range is right there. That would be close, class 3. Okay? Based on the information above, which class has the highest average? Average is mean. So we go find the mean scores. We want the highest average score. The highest average score is right there. That would be class 2. Okay? All right, that should get us through 10.5, or 8.5, sorry. We'll answer questions later on. Give you your best shot. Thanks much. Have a good day.